is Talking to My Thoughts.
So today's topic is about isolation and living a life of uncertainty. Now, isolation is essentially defined as the act or process or instance of being isolated and to separate yourself from others. So for you guys, what we like to do before we start off with the thoughts and what is going through our mind, we'll do a bit of a word association. So obviously today we're looking at isolation. Now, as few words as possible, we'll start with Craig. What comes to your mind when we talk about isolation?
Loneliness.
Nice, cool. Denz, what are your thoughts?
Feeling of being trapped, maybe.
Trapped, loneliness. I think for me, when I think about isolation, I also think about like separation. So I think that's my main word, is being separate from the world, essentially. And I think that's what isolation means to me. So before essentially we dig a little bit deeper into obviously where those words, how we kind of associate ourselves with those words and obviously isolation, we're going to kick off our first thought, which is going to be from Craig. So Craig, if you get your phone out, we're going to have a listen to what you think about isolation and living a life of uncertainty.
Six weeks, man. 6 weeks, I'm telling you, I've been in isolation. Well, at least for me. Gone on a little bit longer than others, but man, 6 weeks, yo. I mean, like, I know I'm an introvert, but I really didn't think I would have to be an introvert like this. Every day I'm waking up and I live alone. So, because you live alone, it means that, well, there's nobody around you, nobody to trouble you in your space, nobody to, see to or anything like that. You just got to take care of yourself, wash your butt, and get on with life. But even being an introvert, I really do miss my friends. I do miss my family. I do miss, I guess, the freedom as well. And I do find myself getting down about it sometimes, thinking, wow, could it go for another 6 weeks, 12 weeks, maybe longer? When would I be able to see them? When would I be able to go back to St. Lucia? These are all things that run through my mind. And honestly, like, that can literally make me go crazy. And it could probably paralyze me as well, in a sense that it would just make me feel so down that I wouldn't want to do anything. Funny enough, these last 6 weeks have actually been really powerful for me. You know, when you say you always need time for you to figure things out and give yourself time to learn this and do this, yeah, I've really utilized that time. It was kind of like a fight or flight kind of thing, where I got put in isolation from injury, and then the actual isolation, the actual lockdown happened, and then it was like, okay, what are you gonna do now? Are you just gonna mope around, or are you gonna actually do something about it? My mission to myself is literally just to ensure that I can come out of this better than I was before, because this is an opportunity to utilize this time I was given. All we have now is time and opportunity. So my main mission that has kept me going and wakes me up and keeps my days moving forward is to basically ensure that I finish this season, whenever it's over, thriving, better, stronger, whatever it is. So yeah, I do miss my friends when I think too far in the future. I do miss the things that we could be doing. I do miss just some better interaction and going out and the freedom. However, I won't let that trap me. I won't let those thoughts be my cage. And I'll basically allow myself to grind while we are in this place. So yeah, I'm definitely missing people. Yeah. You can see I'm going a bit crazy, even speaking to myself, as you can see now. But I know that I can come out better after this, and then there's going to be a lot to celebrate, because there would have been a lot that I achieved.
Well, obviously I can relate because I'm also alone as well. So going through the everyday process of we can. There was a point for the first maybe 2 weeks where I feel like man was living the same day over and over again. Where you're just like, it felt like a movie where you're just thinking, bro, can't go outside again. Again? This is crazy. And then, so I can relate to the fact of being alone and literally, apart from seeing my mum, I haven't really seen anyone this entire time. So I can relate to that. And also I relate to what he said about being an introvert, and still finding it a bit tough and struggling at times, because naturally a lot of people think, when it comes to a situation like this, the introverts, they'll be fine. They're used to doing this. And while there's a level of truth to that, maybe the adaptation is not as drastic as someone who's a social butterfly all the time. It's still, that's your introvert by choice. You're not introverted because you're trapped or you're locked in, or you know what I mean? If you wanted to go outside, you could go outside. But we're in a situation now where that's not advisable to anyone. So and basically it takes away the balance, because people think, introverted means you just kind of stay away from people. Not really. Introverted means you enjoy your own company, you enjoy your own space, and you get on well in your habitat. But however, you still need a level of balance outside and with people mingling and stuff like that to maintain that level of balance. So right now, I think everybody's really unbalanced. But what I take away from it as well is just the fact that we're all going through it together. You know, it's not like it's just us three that's isolated and everyone else is out there having fun. We're all going through it together. So I can relate to pretty much most of the things he said. Obviously, his family's in St. Lucia, so I can't even imagine how tough that is. The only time I get to see my mum is just basically I go shopping, drop the food at the gate. She comes out, sprays everywhere, and then takes so that's the only time I see mum. But yeah, man, it's a crazy time. Never. We may never go through this again, and it's one of those once in a lifetime things that we're just gonna have to hopefully get through and say, yeah, remember them times back in 2020? That was mad.
Bruv, your mom's moving mad. She spray up the air, boy. Denzel ain't giving me nothing today, boy.
No, it's mad, bruv. She's proper on it. But I don't mind that, because at least I know that because I'm not there, at least she's being careful and cautions and stuff. So.
No, that's beautiful, man. That's a good thing. Obviously, as you said, we're going through it together, and we've got to support each other as well at the end of the day. And it's interesting because I guess it links back to Craig, what you were talking about when we was talking about the word association, and the word that you picked out was loneliness, right? And it's just so relatable, obviously, when we're talking about isolation, how you connect it to loneliness. And you're thinking, obviously, well, at the moment, you're at home alone. Your family's not even in the country, or your parents are not in the country. So how you're coping with it. But again, you're looking at it, trying to look at the brighter side of life and thinking, you know what, I woke up today, I'm alive, I'm healthy, my family's okay, like the sun is shining, like fair enough, we all got to go through this, but what do I really have to complain about, innit? What do I have to complain about? Right now, everything's not going to hell sort of thing, at least not from your world where you're at home and you're safe. So I think that's the blessing, and that's the important thing, that just be grateful for what you do have. And yeah, we'll all get through it together, man. So obviously, if those things are feelings that anyone else is feeling, it's just about being open and communicating with the people that are closest to you as well. Because if you do feel that way, maybe it's just a case of reaching out to someone, FaceTiming someone, phoning someone, and just trying to, again, have a sense of normality. Like what I've done is maybe every Friday, every weekend, usually I have like a group phone session with my mum, my dad, my brother, my sister. We have like a games night, and it's all done virtually.
I jumped in on that one.
Yeah. Craig jumped in on that one time. So yeah, man, it's just good to stay as try and bring as much normality to the situation as possible, man. And it's important for mental health as well. You don't want to be cooped up in your house, just wondering, when am I going to get out? Because I'm an introvert too. So I in some respects, I don't mind staying in as much, but then there is limitations to it, as Denzil said. So it's just a case of, it ain't going to last forever, man. We've got to push through it. Cool.
And to touch,
go on.
1 second, to touch on the one piece which I said about the paralyzing. Yes, I did have an injury, which was physically based. However, what everybody could probably relate to is the fact that you feeling you can't do anything while you're indoors, because it feels like you're isolated, trapped. and in a cage, when in reality, actually, there's so many other things you still can do, but your mind can trick you into believing that you can't do anything. So you will technically, your mind is the one that's paralyzing you. You're literally just laying there, just waiting for the world to just open up, when really it's actually like, no, you could actually still watch TV. You can still check on people. You can still do a course. There's so many things you can still do, but because there's a illusion of like a lack of freedom, you feel that everything's been taken away. Not just a little bit, all of it has been taken away. So yeah, that's the level of paralysis. And for me, it was just when I went through the physical side of not being able to do what I had to do, I knew that I could still read. I knew I could still read, listen to books. I knew I could watch some movies. I knew I could play some games. But because I was physically just not feeling it, it just leaked into my mental state, and then that's it. And I think that was a great analogy for me to go through that, because then it comes into the whole lockdown. Yes, it feels like we're unable to do anything, but actually there's so much we can do. So the mind is, again, this is very, very important thing to take care of and assess what is going on. So yeah, that's the key part I was trying to say.
Wicked.